We're here.
We are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the BAW show. Joined this evening by the wonderful Kira. Hello, Kira.
Hi.
And our special guest this evening is Amanda. Welcome back to the show, Amanda. I love having you on here. How have you been?
Yeah, very good. I'm very happy to be back. I love being on the show.
We love having you. Don't you worry about that. Kira, how are you?
I'm good. I think it's been a big few days for all of us. All three of us were up in Brisbane. So it was a big 2 games on the same day. And I think we've all digested, whether we like it or not, the men's game that happened on Saturday night. So now it's time to digest the women's game and what a game it was.
Yes, it was. Amanda, talk us through your Saturday. Where were you? What were you doing? Where were you watching the AFLW before you made your way to the Gabba?
Yeah, Saturday was pretty enjoyable. In the morning, I just kind of chilled out. Maybe that's not the right word. I was pretty nervous all day, but I tried to chill out.
You were messaging me. You were not chill.
No, fair. The amount of messages I was sending you indicates I was not chill at all. I watched the AFLW from my hotel room as I was getting ready for the men's prelim. I was getting pretty into it as well. I kept getting a little bit distracted from the fact that I actually had to leave. And yeah, it was nice just watching that as I was getting ready. So the vibes were high, but so were the nerves.
What about you, Kira?
Yeah, it was same sort of thing up in Brisbane. I went to the Cheer Squad supporter pre-game function, which you were at too, Shane. I was speaking sort of for both of us here because we watched the AFLW game together at the Morrison. It was fantastic. A plug for our show sponsor, the Carlton Cheer Squad. We thank them, as always, for their support of the show. But they put on an awesome pre-game function. I think there was about 600 people in the room. It probably only fit about 300, but we really packed in there. And on the TV was the AFLW, so everyone was eagerly watching that. And Shannon and I were arm in arm, very nervous for both games, but I think we're pretty proud with what the girls were able to put out on Saturday. And they obviously weren't able to get the win. They went down by, I think, 7 points off the top of my head. But albeit, we'll dissect it in this show, but, you know, I think it was an okay sort of representation, you know, of where we're at the moment.
Yeah, BAW show on tour, we called it. It was great. We actually got to sit there and watch the first 3 quarters together before you and Tori went off to do the Wandering Besties. But yeah, no, looping back around, shout out to our sponsor, the Cheer Squad, the Carlton Cheer Squad. It's always good to have a sponsor on board, and they're currently out there making the banner for this Friday night. So yeah, let's get into the show.
So good.
Don't know what happened there. It kind of just was delayed.
So, that's right. We got there in the end.
We did get there in the end. But no, let's get straight into it. Let's address the elephant in the room. I've got it on this side of me here. The messages for the prelim final for the boys. Disappointed, but not unhappy. Bigger and better things to come for the men's, I think, next year. What do you girls reckon?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, obviously digested the loss. The first quarter was the greatest half an hour of my life, but I think I really liked how in Luke Sayer's email or post, whatever it was on the website and everything, after the game, he spoke a lot about obviously the men's program in the year that it was, but then the last line was turning his attention straight to the AFLW. I mean, a lot of people, I think, now are in crisis mode of what am I going to do for the next however many months? What am I going to do until March? There's still plenty of football to watch. So I think now hopefully we get a lot of people behind the girls, and we've spoken about it earlier on in the season of this season's show, that last year was really difficult to get behind the girls after the men's season because we were all so broken from round 23, whereas I think, you know, as much as it's disappointing, we're all really proud of how they ended the season. So now we're not so much drained of football and we can get right behind the girls for the second half of the season, which is insane to think about. When I saw a post today saying that we're at the halfway point, nearing the halfway point of AFLW, that scared me.
Absolutely mind blown at the fact that we're at the halfway mark of the year. What are your thoughts on how we ended the men's season before we move on, Amanda, to the girls?
First of all, I will just say the fact that we are halfway through the women's season is also mind-blowing to me. I can't wait until they extend it. That is just not enough football for my liking. And similar to what you've just said, the end of the men's season, yeah, I'm sad, but I'm not disappointed. I'm so proud of how far they got, and to turn around their season the way that they did, I think was incredible. And like Kira, that first quarter at the Gabba was unbelievable.
Bit of this action.
Very, very, very exciting. Looking forward to next year, looking forward to what they can do. Some of the players who didn't get a good preseason, getting a full preseason will be great.
I'm so excited for next year and what's to come. But let's switch our attention to the game that was on Saturday afternoon here at Icon Park. Just want to go off the top. Lewis's comment, when are we ever going to win a respects game? We're yet to win a respects game. Can you believe that?
It is mind-boggling.
I can't believe it. But look, final scores were 47-40. I believe we were saying before we went on air that we held them goalless after quarter time until the last quarter, which kudos to our defence, especially with the likes of Amelia Yassir and Katie Brendan, who I said to you, Kira, at the Morrison, I told you, you got to stop Katie Brennan. And guess what? We didn't. She was just getting the ball everywhere. Conti was everywhere. They didn't look like they had a structure, Richmond. They would just get it in the hands of Conti and she'll do magical things. Did you guys get that vibe?
Yeah, I think so. And I think that's what made it hard to stop them, because there wasn't really anything you could put a barrier against, because you can't really stop individual brilliance to the extent that we needed to. But I think, yeah, you touched on it. We were able to keep them scoreless in the second quarter. I think the first quarter, it started to look a little bit dangerous. We started to look like maybe it wasn't going to be the game we predicted, but then we held them to our own in the second quarter, and then third quarter we matched them, and then the fourth quarter we just ran out of legs. So, yeah, I think it's hard to stop them when they didn't have a whole lot to stop. They were just kind of flooding it forward.
Yeah, Bucky made a change when Kez went on Katie Brennan. Katie Brennan stopped having as much of an impact, but it's really hard to stop Katie Brennan and Mon Conti, who is just
sadly enough. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think she had 30 disposals, Mon. It was just everything. Tricky.
I like this comment, and I think I agree with this. The second quarter was the best we've played in 3 years. 100%. And that
completely agree.
Everything that we've done, like in WA and round 1 against the Gold Coast, we thought that was a fantastic half of football. But that second quarter, we were just able to move the ball so well, and we haven't been able to move the ball well at all in the last 3 seasons. But the first 4 rounds in patches, we were able to move the ball really, really well. We were marking, we were kicking to advantage, we were taking marks. It was incredible to watch.
We were on cloud 9. We had drinks flowing. The boys were about to play in a prelim. The girls were playing the best quarter they'd played in 3 years. Shan and I were living our best life in that second quarter. It was great. And we were just looking at each other, how good is that BAW show going to be on Wednesday night? And, you know, we looked at each other and we said they are beatable. And I know we say, you know, we both predicted Carlton to win. So, of course, in our minds, they were beatable. But just watching that second quarter play out, they were actually genuinely beatable. Like, we were playing a really good brand of football that stuck up against them and that was able to defeat them, at least for 2-3 quarters. And then, yeah, I'm sure we'll touch on again, but what we've said all year is just our fitness in the last quarter really made us struggle.
Fitness and experience as well, which maybe go hand in hand. We've got such a young side and plus an inexperienced side. To see what happened in the fourth quarter was disappointing, but probably not super surprising to me. I think I take a lot of wins out of that second and third quarter to watch that, because that looks like the way we would want the girls to play for the rest of the season.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. I want to give a shout out to Erin Fitzpatrick for her fourth game of football. She's absolutely smashing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've never seen an Irish player kill it.
We were like, wow, she's really playing really well here. But I absolutely agree, Amanda. And I think on that young group, we could have easily, although it was only, say, 2 goals in the first quarter that we were down by, we could have easily sort of gone, we've lost it here. We're not going to fight back. We're not going to be able to get the win from here. But we just came out in that second quarter absolutely guns blazing and firing. And although I think as they review the game, they'll probably review the last quarter pretty heavily because that's where we lost it. I think they'll review the second quarter just as much to say this is exactly the brand of football we want to play. And when we play this brand of football, it stacks up. So let's just keep doing that week in and week out. And fingers crossed it stacks up and we get wins on the board.
Agreed. It's finding the little things and running with it. Like, and I know it's something that we're going to cling on to, all the little wins. And that's what we need to do. We need to cling on to the little things, feed off those minor wins, because they'll turn into something bigger.
Absolutely. And our use of disposal was really impressive, I thought, especially in that second quarter. We were just making really smart decisions and decisions that we haven't seen Carlton make in the past few seasons. Like, these are the things that Coach Shan scream about on the show, but she was so impressed. Like, you guys should have seen, I should have had a GoPro set up. We did say we should have done a Pommy style live.
We should have done a live watch along. That would have been so good.
Don't think that would have ended very well. But no, Shan was really, really proud. And when Shan's proud about their ball movement, you know they're doing a good job.
Yeah. If the ball movement's good and they can hit a target, Coach Shan is happy.
Absolutely.
Hit a target, it's all I ask, and actually lower your eyes and go the 45 and look where you're kicking it. Don't just bomb it in hope, because you bomb it in hope, you give the defenders an opportunity to spoil or intercept mark. And that's something that we saw towards the back end of the game where we were running out of legs. The players were kind of just like, I'm just going to kick it long now. I'm just going to bomb in hope. And it doesn't always work. Sometimes it does, but Richmond did it. And it went over the back because we pushed too high up the ground and we didn't have players. When they kicked those goals in that last quarter, it's because it went over our heads. So I think I got really frustrated because Kira had gone and I was talking to her nan. Her nan was standing next to me and I'm just like, I can't do this. I kept one eye on the screen, one eye listening to David Rees-Jones. And then we did the march. We did the march to the Gabba. It was incredible. But yeah, no. I think that last quarter, they'll review the footage and they'll go, all right, this is the things that we need to work on, because Sydney, even though they're only won by 13 points, are a really good team, and we'll get to them in a sec.
Nan will be watching this, so hi, Nan. Tori calls her the Blue Broad Nan, but quite funny. But no, totally. And I think it's a really hard one because I feel like I'm almost, I don't know how to word, I feel bad for being happy with a loss, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like it's a bit of a cop-out to be like, oh, like, I'm pretty happy with how it went. They played well for this quarter. But I think we said at the very start of the season that we need to judge it on the storyline of the game and not so much the end score of the game. I mean, Julie Buckland, Nan says hi. But I think, I think that comes to fruition in this game because we kick one more goal and a point out the back and we win. So the storyline of the game is that we've got really positive things to work on, and touch wood, at the halfway point of the season, it is nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. Yeah.
I would agree with that. And I know that you two have spoken a fair bit this season about enjoying the moments because so much is new. New coach, new players, new system. And like you, Kira, this is going better than I expected. And I don't want to celebrate a loss too hard, but I do want to celebrate the moments. There was a great one, I think it was in the first quarter, where Abby McKay kind of like toe pokes the ball to herself and then runs in, picks it up and kicks it to Mia Austin for a goal. And it's just moments like that. I have just a real soft spot for watching Abby and Mimi play together.
Mim is absolute god. And I've got an Abby McKay super fan sitting with me. So, yeah, he just commented.
Abby McKay is awesome.
She is fantastic.
She really is. And just her ability, I think she stepped up a little bit this year too. Like, just watching from the last 4 games, I feel like that her involvement out of the middle, I don't know whether it's because we've lost a Maddie Prasparkas, she's had to step up, but I've just loved the way that she goes in hard for the footy and she has no fear. That's the kind of midfielder I love, a little bit of grit and just goes into the contest, goes, bang, this is my footy.
Absolutely. And that's what we called out for, looping back around again when we did lose Maddie, we, kind of sat in, the sadness of it. We also then looked to the excitement of it gives people opportunity to stand up and fill that role and, become a better player in themselves because no one can rely on the Maddies anymore. They have to, if they want the ball, they've got to find it themselves. So I think, it's actually been quite a positive for this group because they've, really had to take the moment themselves. If they want it, they go and get it.
Yeah. Girls, we've just had our first donation on this show ever. Urus, who is a huge supporter of the channel. Thank you so much. 3 coffees on me. Oh, you're an absolute legend. Thank you so much for your support. That's our first donation. I feel a little bit, giddy.
That's
but
cute.
Let's do our 3, 2, 1. We'll start with you, Amanda. Who is your 3, 2, 1 from the game?
Oh, okay. I'm going to go 3, Abby McKay. 2, Jess Good. And 1, Bree Moody.
Yeah, nice.
What about you, Kira?
I'm going to go 3, Moody. I think I've underestimated in the past her influence on the ground. I think, us as a team without her, completely different team. And, hit the scoreboard twice. Unfortunately today I can't tell you 7 people hit the scoreboard, but I can tell you 4 did. 4 individual goal kickers, and Moody kicked 2 goals. So I think Moody for 3. I'm going to go Shara 2 and Mim 1. That's me.
Beautiful. I'm also going to go 3 Moods. I think her influence since they moved her back to the full-time ruckman resting forward, which makes a lot more sense. I think her influence, her ability to cover the ground and be that extra target up forward when we need it is good. True to Abby, she dominated that midfield, and I'm going to give my 1 to Jess Good. She's been able to mark the ball really, really well, which is something we've been screaming out for. I think Amanda and I watched a game last year, and I'm up here in the Legends stand, and I reckon I screamed take a mark, Jess, about 1,000 times.
Yeah.
An honourable one to Erin Fitzpatrick as well, like just her ability in the first 4 games of her career to really have an impact. And I think she's Gaelic as well, and they don't tackle. So her ability to take a tackle and deliver a tackle, super impressive.
I also just wanted to mention, not in my votes, but Velado got a massive head knock. We were extremely concerned watching it. I think she's okay. Carlton posted a photo. Looks nasty, doesn't look nice at all, but just a shout out to her, going in hard as always, and unfortunately copped a big one on the weekend.
I think I'd like to give an honourable mention as well to Kez, because how good to have Kez back in the side. I think my 2 votes, Shan, actually went to Jess Good just because of the 1,000 times you yelled at her in that game last season. I thought she did such a good job in this game.
That's funny.
Yeah, everyone else in the comments, give us your 3, 2, 1. Lewis has. He's gone Moody, Fitzpatrick, McKay, and honourable to Shiraz. I think that was Keely Shiraz's best game for us by an absolute country mile. Everyone else, flick through while we start the preview of the Sydney game. Let us know who your 3, 2, 1 are.
Before we head into the Sydney game, I just wanted to touch on one game. I know we are a Carlton AFLW show, but I just wanted to quickly touch on Adelaide. Now, they scored 106 on the weekend. 106. It was an Adelaide record. They beat GWS by 69 points, but I just wanted to touch on Adelaide as a whole. I think, you always have to be building your own brand, but I think you have to look to the people around you and the teams around you that are so successful. Adelaide, unbelievable. 106 points in an AFLW game is out of this world. So I just wanted to touch on that before we moved on to Sydney.
It's good for the game as a whole.
That's Liam, everyone. McKay, Shiraz, Mooney. Yeah, so everyone's kind of the same kind of 3 players, which is fantastic, and that just shows a bit of continuity. But yeah, no, Adelaide are incredible. We've seen some really high scores across the board this year. Yeah. So it's amazing to see, just like looping back around to one of our first shows where they were like, make the ground smaller for girls. The fact that after that comment, everyone started kicking multiple goals just shows that the impact of that new rule with the rotations is really showing in the results. So massive win to Adelaide. I was actually watching that game on my phone in my room before we left for the hotel, and the scores are pretty even. And then I look back later and Adelaide had absolutely blown them away. So
they kicked nine consecutive goals in the second half. That's unbelievable. 9. Remember me going on about 7? They kicked 9.
9.
Why do I do that? 9.
9 unanswered goals is massive.
Oh, yeah, that's easier.
Yeah, do that. But no, moving. I've got Ava here tonight. So Ava,
that's okay. We love Ava, our co-host. Moving on to Sydney.
Moving on to Sydney. They only had a 13-point win against West Coast in Sydney. So this game could go either way, mainly because of who they have on their list. If you look at their midfield straight away, Chloe Malloy springs to mind. That was a really, really good get.
Chloe.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it now. We need to stop Chloe.
Because she doesn't only get the ball and distribute it so well, but she also kicks goals. Like, she will hurt us if we're not careful. I think, you went on and on last week. I'm going to go on and on this week. Need to stop Chloe. Otherwise, we're in licorice all sorts. And I know a team is so much more than one singular player, but one player we have seen before and one player with the brilliance that Chloe Malloy has will destroy us. So, Chloe, stop her, please.
Because she's damaging across the ground.
Absolutely.
Have you seen much of Sydney, Amanda?
I haven't, but when we talk about Sydney, I mean, I watched them a little bit last season, but the Sydney of this season is an entirely different team because they have Chloe Malloy. She's the first person I think of when I think of the Swans now. And the second person, probably Lucy McAvoy, for other reasons.
Yeah. I had Lucy in my thoughts as well. I'm like, please, can we
Forgot
not
about
lose?
Lucy McAvoy. Is that bad? I forgot about her.
Well, hopefully she doesn't cause you too much thinking on
Yeah, hopefully you keep forgetting about her on the weekend.
Yeah.
But I
I
think
would love to keep forgetting about her. Like, I didn't even remember that she went to Sydney. I knew she left, but I just didn't remember where she went.
no.
I actually have 2 friends that play on the Sydney team. Rebecca Privatelli, who is an ex-Carlton player herself. She was one of our original game changers. And Amy Whelan, who's another midfielder, is actually a premiership teammate of mine at Pascoe Vale. So I wish them luck, but not too much luck. It's going to be a very interesting game. Ava, wave to the camera. Your Papa's watching. Say hi, Papa.
No, Mum, I'm busy drinking my water. We're also on we're both on 2 wins and 2 losses, and I would really hate, with no disrespect to Sydney, I think it would be a real shame if they had more wins than us. And, you know, like Amanda said, they are obviously a completely different team to last year, but Sydney are one of those teams that if we want to be the middle ranked on this ladder and not be in the bottom half, then we need to be beating the Sydneys. Like, we can bat an eyelid to the Melbournes and the Adelaides and things like that. We cannot bat an eyelid to the Sydneys. So I think this is a very similar game to the West Coast one for me. We absolutely need to win, especially because it's at Icon Park. Like, there's really no excuses here for me personally.
And what better way to spend your grand final eve than here at Icon Park on a public holiday?
Yeah, come to the game. I like Lewis's shout out here of putting Abby on Chloe.
I agree. Will you be at the game, Amanda?
I sure will.
Yay. We all will be.
I'll be here nice and early. I'm really looking forward to the Friday twilight. Can we call it twilight? 4:05.
I'll be better.
What better way to spend your public holiday before you get to watch Collingwood lose another grand final than be here to watch us beat Sydney on Friday night? I'm putting that in the universe.
Thanks. I like it. No, I think it'll be really good. I believe it's a double header. I think there's a game after us. There's a game after us.
Is there a game after us?
Well, are we at night time?
We're at 4:05.
4
I think there must be a 1 o'clock game there.
I might come here even earlier then.
Let me check.
You know who it is?
I'm checking. AFLW.
Yeah, Richmond Freo. They're here at 1:05.
I knew there was a double header.
I might come watch that one actually. You gonna come watch
that should be a good game. Freo have a lot of quality players there.
Did Freo win on the weekend?
They lost to Essendon by 20 points.
Oh, right. Another team that we
at Windy Hill.
Oh, you got your notes. Another team that we need to be mindful of is Essendon, because they will rise very quickly.
They've already started.
We are not losing to Essendon. Absolutely not.
It's at Windy Hill.
We beat them by 2 points last season. Too close for me. I remember that so distinctly.
Oh, I remember that as well.
Father's Day.
I messaged you both after that game.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get our predictions. Amanda, what are we winning by?
We are winning by 17 points.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm going to say we're winning by 22.
We're winning by 30, ladies.
Oh! I thought my 22 was a bit bold.
That was generous.
Going to pick 3.
30.
30, I said it. 3-0. Charlie Kerno, 3-0.
Can we have 8 individual goal kickers?
Can we do it?
Can we? Just one more than 7.
Yeah.
I think I've just been overridden.
Hello. Okay, I'm going to call it now. 8 individual goal kickers.
8 individual goal kickers. All right, everyone in the audience that are watching, it says 5 here, but all of you, tell us who's winning and by how much. I feel like it's going to be
Nathan
a nice
says 4
afternoon.
4
It's going to be a
points.
lovely afternoon. I'm looking forward to it. If you are around, come past the cheer squad and say hi. We'll be there with our banner. I'm so excited. It's Friday afternoon footy. We love a good Friday night.
Absolutely, we do. Mim 40 touches. Oh,
Your nan's in the same boat.
BA Nan.
Our BA nan. She's everyone's nan.
I think you know how you can look at your. I'm sorry, Nan. I'm going to call you out here. You know, if you looked at your screen time, the amount of time she spends watching Blue Abroad would be like astronomical. I'm going to go down to her house. She lives in my backyard. I'm going to go down to her house after I finish recording this and check. I'll let you both know.
Please do. But
Okay.
no.
But we encourage that.
Oh, absolutely, we
encourage that.
I hope Terry is going to watch this back. Tez, Julie is like one of our number one supporters, number one fans. So we need to do like a special giveaway to all of our special fans of the BAW show. Big call, Mimi. Oh, how's that?
I love this.
Lewis. Yes, I'm here for that. Here for that. But anyway, ladies, how do you feel about ending the show there? I'm hungry. Ava's hungry. I feel like the dinner's almost finished. So I want to thank you both for jumping on this evening. Amanda, it's always good to have you. You're always welcome. Always welcome back. Kira, I feel like I only saw you yesterday, but I know we saw each other in Brisbane. Yeah, let's hope that we're going to be celebrating together on Friday night. We should all come and sit together. We're going to be sitting just inside Gate 6 for anyone who wants to come and see us. Banner almost done, I think. But yeah, no, thank you so much, ladies, for jumping on this evening.
Go Baggers.
Go Blues.
Up the Baggers.